Yeah, we're live. Finally. Do you see anybody?
Yeah.
I don't know. We may have lost them when we had to do the reconnection. Yeah, there's nobody there now because we probably lost them all. They were all connected to the other one. Well, we may be talking to each other. Well, you know, it was weird. I saw it on the TV upstairs. And it said, oh, we got 6 now. We're starting to join in. Okay. It said upstairs that this thing was coming live on February the 22nd, which was weird. You should shut the door. Hi, Nancy. We had a little technical difficulty getting hooked up today. Not sure what it was. Well, I said shut the door, but you didn't bother. What part of shut it?
Well, I shut it.
Yeah, that's right. Cool. 2 inches like that. Hi, Maria. So there may have been some people connected a moment ago, but we weren't connected, and I had to down the connection and put it back up again. And when you do it this way through a laptop on anything with YouTube, it is cumbersome. There's a lot of stuff you have to fill out.
Oh, yeah. Well, I got a good picture of me scratching my head.
Yeah, well, that's our thumbnail right now. So, hi, Andy. So we'll just wait a couple of minutes and see who else is here to join us. Hi, Marilyn. Lots of things to talk about today. So I got to remember to look up from this and into the camera. Actually, it'd be easier probably if I connected through the iPad, because I've been looking at the iPad and then my eyes wouldn't be down all the time. Someday we'll get this right. You'd think we'd have it right now. We've been working on this like for how many years now? A couple of years. Hi, Teresa.
Either you lower your chair or I'll have to get a pillow and sit on it.
Yeah, now I feel like,
a munchkin.
Yeah, a munchkin. Yeah. Hi, Virginia. No, the connection problems, Virginia, were on our end, and I can't tell you why. Hi, Roy. Hi, Cindy. What's this? Roy says, hi, fellows. Got in early for a change, sorting and organizing as I lurk. Okay, Roy. Well, that's fine. You do whatever gets you through it. Okay, so it looks like we've got some people here now. And as I just mentioned a moment ago, we had a little technical difficulty. Don't ask me what it was. Don't know.
Don't know, yeah.
Have no idea.
I connected on my iPad and everything, and he was having trouble connecting on the laptop. So I don't know.
So I don't know what's going on, but we're okay now. So let's hope we continue to be okay. Hi, Mary. Hi, Teresa. Teresa says, what's the drink of the day? Usual beer.
Yeah, we've been on beer kick lately.
Yeah. I've got Guinness. He's got Kilkenny. Hi, the other Teresa.
We're not eating anything today, though.
No snacks today. Our problem with the snacks is we eat these and then we don't want anything to eat for dinner. But then you kind of feel like you should have something a little bit more substantial for dinner. But our usual thing with dinner these days is, so what do you want for dinner? I don't know. We had that last night. Why don't we have, I don't know, whatever. Yeah. So anyways, so let's get started, shall we? I guess everybody can see us, and I guess everybody can hear us. I've been playing with the lighting in here again today. Whole problem is we have an LED fluorescent. Is that the same thing?
Yeah, LED.
They're LEDs that looks like a fluorescent light over top of my workspace because we're sitting at my sewing table or my cutting mat table. And I don't know if it's the color of my hair or whatever, or the baldness of his head, but the light seems to bounce right off. So I have put my version of a diffuser on it, which is a bunch of sheets of paper that I've kind of hung over the top of it, which does cut down the glare a little bit, but it's still not absolutely ideal. So I guess we'll just have to put up with shiny light. Okay, so anyways, what's been going on? Mom, update with my mother. She's fine. She still got black eye, well, a little bit of the markings from when she did the face plant. Oh, it was disgusting though the other day. I'm talking to her and it's FaceTime, and there's like white foam at the corner of her mouth that's coming there. And I'm thinking, what, have you got rabies? What's going on? You're foaming at the mouth. I said, Mom, are you eating something? Yeah, they gave me a vitamin. So she's chewing on a vitamin. It's just, well, she probably can't swallow anymore, right? I don't know. She's chewing on this. Maybe they give her chewable ones. And it's like foaming up. And I said, Mom, you're foaming at the mouth. You might want to, lick your lips or something out of it, because you're disgusting me. You're grossing me out. So she did. But she's fine. Same old at the nursing home. I always ask her, what's new, Mom? And I always get the same answer. Oh, nothing going on here. And then I look on their Facebook and there's been lots of things going on for them. So
Cindy says she thinks she might be dehydrated,
oh,
which may be a possibility.
Yeah, because my mother won't drink a lot of stuff. They're always trying to get water and fluids into her. And she takes a little sip and that's it. She's always been that way. So I don't know, but she said it was a vitamin. She was definitely chewing on something. I could see it. And believe me, you don't want to look at my mother's mouth. Okay. That is the black hole of Calcutta in there. Okay. Her teeth are horrible. And, I've had a dentist look at them. And in fact, she got a partial plate for the top and the bottom. And you know this because back a year or so ago when we got that, more than a year ago now, she lost the bottom part, but she doesn't like wearing them anyways. But I thought they might pull out a bunch of her teeth. Like she doesn't have that many left. And no, apparently the dentist didn't want to do that. He wanted to leave those ones in. I don't know why.
Well, he said he'd leave them in unless they're bothering her. She says they're not bothering her.
They're not bothering her, so I don't know.
And I guess something's better than nothing.
Yeah. I'm telling you, though, when you see both my parents had not the greatest of teeth, and that's actually an understatement. They were bad. And my sister and I, anyways, were very conscious of that, or you do not want our parents' teeth. And my sister, of course, when she was younger, she had braces and everything, and her teeth all straightened out because, well, she was a girl. That was the story. My brother and I probably should have had braces. My teeth aren't too crooked, but in this day and age, you can have adult braces, but I'm not.
Yeah, well, I had braces from when I was a late teen, from 18 till 20, and did that. I just on my top teeth, not my bottom teeth, and I wouldn't recommend it.
Well,
it was 2 years of hell.
Well, it was basically the sexist thing to do. You see, because girls, you got to keep girls looking pretty or they're not going to get a man was basically what my parents were thinking when she was a teenager. So they spent a lot of money on braces with my sister, and my sister is very, very diligent about keeping them, and she does have good teeth. But if anything, looking at my mother's mouth certainly makes you want to brush your teeth about 12 times a day, which is pretty much how much I brush mine now anyways. But anyways, hi, Jeannie. Anyways, so she's fine. Everything's good there. Everybody in the home now and the staff have all been vaccinated, as far as we know. And that's a good thing. Of course, mind you, they're not getting the vaccines very fast out here in Canada. The Americans, you're getting your shots a lot quicker than we are out of it all. So, but whatever, that's our government at work. So moving on. So what's Walter working on? Hi, Dana.
I've been busy trying new mask designs.
Oh, hi, Anita. I'm just catching up here. So, okay. So you're working
I'm working on new mask designs because they recommend 3-layer masks, and our old masks are 2-layer masks. So the ones that we used to wear all the time were these ones, which I can actually make them into 3-layer masks.
Do you want me to model them?
If you'd like.
Would you like me to model? Now, what's this model that I have
That's
here?
the original model.
This is the original mask that Walter made. It's okay. I find though, maybe it's my beard or whatever, but I find it slides a little bit, and it does fog up. My glasses still fog up a little bit. So what's next?
So I tried this one, but it doesn't fit very well. And I haven't been able, maybe I just made it too small or something. I don't know.
This is the one I call the duck lips mask.
See, actually, it's a two-sided one, actually.
It's two-sided.
Yeah, hang on. Go. You can use it that way.
Right, this way.
Right?
Okay.
I don't like this one either.
Okay, this one is too small.
I have another one laying around that's a bit bigger.
Okay, I haven't got...
That's okay.
Just a second. Isn't that supposed to come by the chin? And
Yeah.
that comes up here? Okay, so it fits a little bit tighter in around the chin. It is too small, though.
Okay. Yeah, well, I made another one, but I can't find it right now. But anyway, take that one off.
You've got those little tricky things on here, too, don't you?
Oh, no, I don't.
Oh, you don't have any tricky things on
those ones, yeah. That's one. Hang on. But anyway, this one, you supposedly can turn it inside out. And it looks more like a duck then.
Oh, duck lips.
Right, so...
Does it fit better when it's inside out?
Yeah.
It actually does. It fits better.
But it sticks out quite a bit.
Quack, quack.
Yeah.
But does it do the fog test? Well, not too bad, but they still fog up.
So then I tried another one that said you can make it from a dinner plate. So I tried that one.
But that's not a dinner plate. That's cloth.
No. You use the dinner plate as a design. Actually, I think this is the reject one. I have another one that's a little better.
Why is this a reject one?
I was digging. It's a little small.
These are not particularly easy to manipulate. They keep closing up. I don't like it. Yeah, it's too small. I guess I can't get my...
Yeah.
Okay. No. That's not working.
So the next one I got was these ones, which I like better. And I made two. I made a big one and a little one. And I can't remember which one's which now.
I think that one's the big one, isn't it?
Yeah, a big one and a little one. Little smaller one. And I like them the best. That's the ones that they usually call the 3D.
And you got the little tricky things on here.
Yeah.
Okay. Little knot holders. Oh, yeah. See, I like this one much better because this one feels more snug and it goes over my nose and my chin better. And now you've got these little thingies on the back for adjusting it too. So, and my glasses fog up still a little bit, but not too bad.
We can put a nose thing in there.
Yeah, well, those nose things that I made with the 3D printer, they're a bit of a pain in the butt. I wonder if they'd fit better in these, though, because these are a little thicker, so they might. I should try that.
Yeah, and then there's the smaller one. I like that one better.
What, you like this one better?
Yeah.
Well, it's a little different.
No, same one.
Actually, I think you're right. Fog test. Yeah, this one feels a little better, a little snugger. Yeah.
Okay, so I think that's designed to go with.
Yeah.
So I've been busy testing different designs.
Let's see. Teresa says, first thing I did once I started working was get braces. And Dana says, I have 12 masks to make for a wedding next month, watching to see what Walter's doing new and improved.
I'm trying to figure out where I got this one from. I got it from some guy that does balloon animals.
Balloon animals.
Actually, Martelli I think they sell their own patterns. And actually, the pattern I ended up with, I got for free from Pinterest. Oh. You can just download it.
Mary says, if you tie the elastic at the base by the fabric, it might help you with the fog test. So at the base. So
they go through loops on either end. So.
Okay, but let's see. What if you do this?
The elastic might be too long now.
Yeah. Okay, just experiment here.
No, that's no good
No,
because
that's
you've
not
got
gonna
too
work.
much air going
Yeah.
through the sides. Yeah, we'll have to maybe work on it some more and try
Yeah.
and figure out if there's a better.
Dana asks, where did you find the pattern?
I looked for 3D mask design on Pinterest. Actually, it came up as on Pinterest, right? Which I don't really like Pinterest that much, but I just did in a search for 3D design, and it was on, I forget what it was called. I should have been prepared for this.
Well, Cindy says, also give the elastic a twist before putting it on over your ears. That's an idea too. I don't know. All these things that we never thought about a year ago that we have now to contend with. Designer masks, how do they fit, different designs. Yeah. So what are you looking for?
I'm looking for the, trying to see what site it was on.
Well, this may take forever.
No, go ahead. Keep yakking.
Yeah. Well, anyways. Well, no. Well, did you find it? So anyways.
Well, there's tons of them available. I think the one that I saw. He
doesn't know. You asked a hard question, Dana. Well, just memory's not so good these days.
I'll have to look it up and put it in the show notes on
Yeah,
there.
Dana says just send me the website when you find it. Mary says I can send you nose pieces. Well, I've got nose pieces, Mary. At least the ones that I have are a little bracket that the edge of the mask, the top fits into it, and they just sort of go over your nose, kind of a thing. Plus, we have ones that Walter got that you insert sort of and they bend a little bit as well. Anita says, I think masks will be in our lives for a while to come. Yeah, I think so. And Teresa says, I found a mask template at my quilt store, several sizes, and they fit well. Yeah, I've seen the templates for that too. Our quilt store out here too was selling the ones, and Martelli sells them as well. And there's different designs you can get. I can even make them with my 3D printer, like the templates, not the masks themselves, of course. But anyways, keeps us off the streets. We'll keep playing with that design. So what else have you been working on?
That's that and cleaning up my room a bit.
What? Cleaning up your room?
Well, no, I've been just pretty much.
Oh, you mean you put this pile of fuzzy over here and put this? Yeah, right. Cleaning up the room. Anyways, well, I've been working on a couple of things. I'm going to explain these in more detail on the Idiot Quilter this week. But okay, so I printed a thimble, on my printer, a 3D thimble. Here you go. I posted pictures of it. It is a thimble. It's designed to look like one, but it was intended to be like a flower pot or something like that. Now, I thought I had reduced it, though, because my idea was to shrink the size down and make it into, like, pin cushions. And when I started printing this out, I went, uh-oh, it's a little bit big. I guess I didn't reduce it. But then I thought, well, what the heck? Let it go, because I can always use another flower pot. And, yeah, a little sucker took a day and a half to print or something like that. And I did it out of this shiny purple filament that I've got quite like. But a lot of people said we could use it as a little garbage can. That's true. But the suggestion I liked the best, Dana said, our Dana right here, she said, use it for a scrap bucket, for throwing in your scraps and that. And that's what I'm doing. As you can see, there are some in it already. I like that idea. So that's what I'm doing with it right now. But I did reduce the size, and I did manage to make it into pin cushions. And these are my pin cushions right there. So I actually needed a couple of pin cushions because the ones I were using I didn't really like. So one's got my magic pins, one's got my regular pins in it. And I think it turned out kind of nice. Now, I used the rainbow filament. So you notice there's a little bit of gradient, but the rainbow filament really, as you've heard me say before, doesn't really work that well on things that are kind of small, as it doesn't change frequently enough. But anyways, I think they're kind of cute, and I might make some more of them and give them someday as gifts or something like that as well. I mean, they're not hard to make. They do take a while to print. I mean, to make one of these, I think it takes 5 or 6 hours to print. But yeah, I thought it was kind of cute. What are people saying? Yes, Anita, I did get a haircut. We both did.
Yeah.
Okay, so our hairdresser called us. We went in on Wednesday of this past week. She called the Friday before, itching to get us in. She wanted us both come in at the same time, 3 o'clock on Wednesday afternoon. One of us sits in the car. The other one goes in, gets his cut, because our hair doesn't take that long to cut. His especially. However, my hairdresser loves to talk. And when she gets talking, she gets cutting. So I don't know if she thought I want to have a haircut the same as his or not. Not really. I mean, I don't mind it this short to a certain extent, but boy, after you've had 8 weeks where your hair's been growing out and then suddenly it's almost like you've been bald. It's like a brush cut. I haven't had a brush cut since I was about 7 years old or 8 years old. But yeah, anyways, it's cut. So, and heaven only knows we could be in another lockdown very soon because the kids are back at school. Yeah. Our government seems to refuse to believe the fact that children are carriers and they're little disease bags. Yeah. So they think it's okay. Let them back in school. Oh, yeah. We're going to do more testing of asymptomatic. And
But they're not testing everybody.
No, they're only doing a small little sample at a school, and not every school's getting it at the same time and anything like that. Like, our government has botched this thing so badly. They keep telling us stuff, but they're not doing anything right, especially here in Ontario. I mean, they're just idiots. Just idiots. Thanks, Anita. Yeah, true, Teresa. You can never have enough pin cushions. Drinking glasses for the sewing room, Cindy
I thought
says.
we could use it as a fez.
Yeah. Yeah, we could. It almost fits your little knob. Okay, now you're knocking all my scraps out of it. Yeah, you can't really drink out of them, though, seriously, because this is not food grade plastic. There are chemicals in it that could leach into your food. There is filament you can get that supposedly is food grade, but I've never looked into it, and I have no idea what it costs. It's probably more expensive, of course, than what I'm paying for this. And this stuff isn't particularly cheap. You know, averages about $30 for a kilogram of it. So,
how much of that did you use in here?
Actually, it's surprising how little you really use. If you were to look at the roll rate,
I think you'd almost use half a roll in here.
Nope,
no?
Not even close. Not even close. Actually, if you look at the program, the slicer program, they call it, which is actually the thing that takes they call this a model, and it figures out the layers. And there's like thousands of layers, because that's basically how a 3D printer works. It lays layers of plastic around a pattern kind of thing and builds it up.
If you look at it, it almost looks like at the end of a glue gun that's squirting out glue all the way around.
Yeah. But it will tell you in that program how much you're using, because you can set it up so that it will also give you the cost of it for people who are doing business transactions, something like that. I don't know what it said because I never look at that, but surprisingly, didn't use as much as you would think. In fact, I've still got 3/4 of that roll left, and this isn't the only thing that I've printed in that color. So right now, your little spool stand, your little thing is no, it's not printing in purple. It's printing in the bronzy green color. But and he says, "Oh, they are getting all our schools back by March 1st here in Ohio." Yeah, I think it's a mistake. In my opinion, I think the schools should remain virtual until the end of June. And then when they go back in September, here in our province, then look at it and see what's going on. Because this is where the third wave is going to come from. I think the second wave came from a lot of this too. But, you know, try and keep the kids social distanced. We were out the other day, drove by an elementary school. The kids were all outside on recess or whatever. They're wearing masks, but they're on large groups because kids do. Kids do. They were all together. And that's not a bubble. Okay, the bubble's a myth. So I don't know. But that's what our government tells us. So yeah, they know best. Not really. Hi, Donna. So anyways, that's what I've been working on. Oh yeah, and I've been working on some placemats for Meals on Wheels for my guild. I don't know if these are going to get to Meals on Wheels because, well, I'm going to talk about my guild in a few minutes. But anyways, I made 4 that look something like this. Well, they not something. They do look like this, except each one's slightly different because it's the way you do it, the order of the colors. Probably not that noticeable to you right now because I'm not giving you a lot of time to study it. And I put it in my embroidery machine and did the quilting just in the center of it. And I just finished the tops of these 4. This was a tedious pattern. This is just out of a simple jelly roll of, solids or sort of solids, read like solids. I haven't got them backed or anything. It wasn't a hard pattern, but it's kind of tedious because you got to draw lines. And I kept drawing the lines the wrong way. And I'd end up, because some of them have to go one way, some have to go the other way. And I get them all one way and then I have to rip them out. And I can't say as though my heart was really into making these for various reasons, actually, which we'll come to in a bit. Okay, so that's what I've been up to. Hi, Anne. So what's next? Okay, we went shopping. They've now opened. They've lifted some of the restrictions on our lockdown, so now stores can open, but it's by appointment only. Only so many in, social distancing, masks, the whole bit. So of course, we made an appointment with Ultimate Sewing and went crazy. I dropped about $700 and on fabric and batting and other things. And I'm going to be showing all those in more and talking about them in more detail on Tuesday during Idiot Quilter. But I didn't get off light. Oh, I got off light because what did you buy, Walter?
Well, I bought about $100 worth of fabric.
Mm-hmm.
And then I bought,
Mm-hmm.
I was asking her about a new serger, and I wasn't going to go for the top of the line one, but she happened to have a top of the line one in stock. So I bought it. It's actually, she sells mostly Janome, and she sells Elna, which is actually the same as Janome, only it's got the Elna name on it. So she had an Elna in stock, and so I bought an Elna air threader.
Which is basically looks the same as my Janome air threader serger too. So yeah, but the one he wanted was a little less expensive, but she also said she wasn't going to be carrying that one because there's been a lot of trouble with the sewing of it, with how it sews.
Yeah. So
what was it? What model was
it?
That?
It was the FA4
Janome.
And the one reason I kind of wanted it was it has a free arm, and the top line one doesn't, because it would be easier to go around cuffs. But I have one of those kinds of free arms on my cover stitch machine, and it's a little better, but it's not great either. So it's not a big loss. And I can, my old one didn't have a free arm, and I still managed to do cuffs. So
he's got a new
biggie.
Toy. So we were counting up the machines we have. What did we come up with? 8?
Something like that.
Yeah, there's 1, 2, 3, 4.
I have 4.
And I have 4. Down here.
Yeah, well, 5 if you count my old one. But
well, yeah, and then if you count the 1 or 2 we've got in the crawl space,
yeah.
But those are ancient. Well, it used to be the expression for quilters was, he or she who dies with the most fabric wins. Now it's he or she with the most machines who dies, or dies with the most machines wins. I don't know, something like that. Yeah, Teresa, Shirley must have been happy. I said to
actually, I'm one of the easiest sales she's ever had.
You're just easy, period.
Well, no, even with the cover stitch machine, I'd say, well, I'm looking at a cover stitch machine. What do you suggest? And she said, well, she had the bottom line model, and she said, it'll do pretty much most of the things that you want to do. So unless I was going to make string bikinis or something like that. So I said,
look very nice in a string bikini.
So I said, no, I don't plan to do any of those. So I got the model she suggested, and she had one that was a demo model in stock, so I got it a little bit cheaper. So.
Oh, what? So that serger you bought was a demo?
No, the serger wasn't. The cover stitch.
Oh, the cover stitch machine. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm in easy sale. She doesn't have to do anything else. I just want this. And even with the serger, it's easy because I had already studied the models, right? She says the next model. The next model up. She couldn't even remember the next model up, and I said that's the Pro 4DX. And she says, yeah, that's the one. And I said, she says, well, you can get that one, but that one was a couple $100 cheaper than the one I bought. And I thought, well, why not go for top of the line? If
why
it's only
not?
$200
why not? Whatever. Well, she saw you coming. No, not really. Yeah, well, so I said to one of the ladies at the checkout kind of a thing there, I said, so I guess we've paid your salary for the next couple of weeks, haven't we? On it. I said, don't want to see you go hungry, dear. But no, I mean, it's
yeah, Bootsy. The previous serger I had was it's a Janome, but it's an very old model, and probably before the year 2000. And
that's the last century then.
Yeah, and so and it is it's a fairly challenging to thread the bottom looper.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
I could do it pretty quick. It's just occasionally it would end up breaking. If I didn't thread it properly, then the thread would break right away.
But then with your new one, you were having trouble threading your needles.
Yeah, as a needle threader built in on the new one's an air thread serger, so you just stick the bottom loopers and the top looper into a hole, and it sucks it through, and it's threaded, right? But the needles still have a needle. They have a needle threader, but I was having a challenge using the needle threader on it. But
so you got that figured out, though.
Yeah, finally, I think it's one of those things that you just got to get used to.
Yeah. Well, Roy says I purchased my white in the late 1980s.
So, yeah, well, it would have been one of the really not easy ones to thread. The newer ones, even the non-air threader ones, have a system where they'll pull the lower looper into focus so that you can thread them, and then you can push them back.
Hi, Dennis. And yes, air threading is awesome. That's why I bought the air threader, because I couldn't stand threading the machine that he was using before he bought his new one this week, which was his sister's.
The other reason I wanted a new one was not that I changed to rolled hem very often, but my old one, I had to remove a needle plate to do a rolled hem and put another needle plate in, which was a bit of a pain in the butt. And if I wanted to adjust the width of the cutting blade, you have to go in and stick a screwdriver in and adjust the cutting blade that way. And so that was a bit of a pain in the butt. So those are actually more it wasn't really the threading that was discouraging me. It was the fact that I couldn't switch it over or anything very easily.
Yeah, we're all about convenience. So, but anyways, yeah, so they were happy to see us, I am sure. Dropped a bundle. But, like, you might think we got a lot of money to do that. Well, no, I save. I've been saving up. I have a little fund in my budget that I put so much money in every week. And since COVID has started, because my whole idea was I was going to go in and support the quilt store when we could get back in and to, and buy things. So, yeah. It was okay, and I still have money in that fund.
I bought the more expensive one, but it wasn't like I didn't have the money. I charged it on my credit card, but it's going to get paid off right away. So, and like him, I've got savings that are support.
Well, we have budgets for these things. I mean, it sounds like we just go out and, just drop money like there's no tomorrow. Well, no, it's planned. It's planned.
The only reason I wanted to buy a lesser model is because I'm cheap.
Yeah, that's for sure. It's the Dutch in them. But anyways, so I'm sure they were happy to see us there. So that takes us to, let's talk about the Idiot Quilter Retreat. Now, I know there's probably people on here who are now on the waiting list, and I'm sorry about that. I had no idea that this was going to take off the way that it did. There are 90 people registered, and I have a waiting list of over 20 for it. And that's great. I'm not happy about having a waiting list. I really wish I could accommodate everybody. And there is a way to do that. It means I'd have to change my subscription a little bit because my subscription only goes up to 100 people. But I'm worried about the logistics of it. I'm a little worried about the fact that I've got 90 in there managing it. I think I can, okay. But if I had more than that,
you don't really want to get overwhelmed.
Well,
either,
no,
so.
that's the thing. So that's why. So, and also, I didn't know I was going to get the response. Like I put it out in two places. I put it out to my guild, and I put it out to a Facebook group that are men quilters, Canadian male quilters. And I got 26 registered people within 1 day, 2 days. And it just went from there. It didn't hit advertising in Ultimate Sewing's newsletter until early this past week. And I got more people there too, but it just seemed to spread. And then I put those things up on YouTube, and it was just fire the way it was going. So my plan is this, as people who are on the waiting list know, if you want to be on the waiting list, I put you on. I'm putting you on in the order that it comes to me in the email. So it's all timestamp kind of a thing. I'm not playing any favorites for anybody because I don't think that's fair. It's first come, first serve. And I've already put out a notice to all the people that are registered that if they, for some reason, life gets in the way and they can't make it, then I hope if they know that for sure before the 15th of March, which is 5 days before the retreat, to let me know. I'll take them off the list. I'll put somebody that's on the waiting list in that spot. To be honest, what'll really get my goat is going to be people who don't show up at the last minute. And basically they took a spot, and for whatever reason, okay, there are emergencies. I get that. And what I plan to do is, if that happens,
well, I mean, it wasn't so bad if you lose like 10 people or something like that. But if, like if 10 people show up and there's 90 registered, you'd be really ticked off.
Yeah, that's the other thing too. And, everybody has good intentions, but, sometimes things go awry.
People don't commit to things if you don't charge them.
Well, that's the thing. This is free.
That's the thing that's a little bit of a concern, is that they're not paying for anything, so it's not like they'll be out any money if they cancel out, right?
Yeah.
So,
and I anticipate there's going to be probably, I'm going to say conservatively, 10 to 15% won't show. And if they don't show up, like if I don't know that they're not going to show up on the day of, and people don't necessarily have to sign in.
Yeah, but then you've got the problem too, is that some people might, like, somebody might not show up right at 9 o'clock, but have the intention of showing up.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
So you can't really give that spot away.
I can't give that spot away. Although I'm thinking about that, and I am thinking of setting it up and say, okay, signing in, you have a window. From between 8:30, it starts at 9, but I'm going to open the doors, virtual doors, at about 8:30. And there will be a sign-in procedure. You just won't immediately get in. You'll go into the waiting room, and I will have an attendance list. And when I see you come up in the waiting room, I'll check off your name, and then I'll let you in. That way I know who's there and who isn't there.
And it'll keep people from giving your sign-in information
to somebody else. Yeah. And the only reason I'm concerned about that is, I have to have a certain amount of control. I have to know who is coming in. Also, if I don't know the person, they're not on my list, they're not going to get in. So all of this I'm going to put into an update message that I will send out to all those people who are already booked into it, so they'll know in advance the procedure for it. I mean, I don't want to be a jail keeper here or anything like that, but I'm trying to keep things as open and as fair and as controlled as I possibly can, especially when it's the first one I've ever done on this scale. So, there's bound to be, it's going to be a learning curve. No two ways about it.
Virginia was saying, people on Mountain Pacific time may sign in later.
Yeah. I was just going to say that.
Or somewhere around the world.
Well, yeah. So that's the thing. And that's why I have my list too. I know where people are sort of coming from. Well, not completely, because I didn't really ask, but I was going by their email. But I mean, if they have a Gmail account or something like that, it could be anywhere. So, I don't know. I'm going to try to make it as fair as I possibly can. I'm hoping that the technology won't let me down. I've got contingency plans for things that could go awry that I hope don't go awry. So we'll see. The bottom line of all of this is fun, just to have a good time. Okay.
Yeah. Hopefully it won't have too many bugs.
Yeah. Well, we'll find out from that. Donna says maybe some could share a spot. 1-9 noon, another noon and 9, something like that. Yeah, Donna, that's a possibility.
However, that gets complicated.
I was just going to say, however, that just makes things a lot more complicated. I mean, I thank you for the suggestion. But, now the other suggestion I do have, though, and this came from somebody else that is on the waiting list. Well, they didn't give me this suggestion, but this is what I think they were going to do. One was going to get together with her friend, and they were going to do it from their home. Now, basically, with COVID, that kind of defeats the purpose of doing virtual for safety's sake. But
if they do that anyway.
But they may do that anyways. And actually, okay, let's just forget about the whole COVID connection right now. If a couple of people want to get together at one person's house using one computer, and one person is the one who's registered and the other person was on the waiting list, that's fine. I don't have a problem with that. The problem I have is that we're supposed to be safe here, right? That's why we're doing a virtual retreat in the first place. But that's okay. I don't mind that at all. But yeah, we'll see how things go. I'm sure there'll be some ways that some people will think of things that I haven't thought of.
Well, actually, this is sort of the first time.
Yeah, it's the first time.
Other than the Craft and Chats, this is pretty much the first time.
Craft and Chat has like 10 people on it.
We're trying this and seeing how it works, and then hopefully we'll be able to do it more often or something. Yeah.
Well, that's the other thing. Now, other people, there was, and I don't know if it's you, Mary, that's on here today, but one person, Mary, very, very nicely said, she would give up her spot. She was registered for somebody on the waiting list, because she figured that there'd be more in the future. And I thought, well, that is very generous. But what I told Mary was, you came, you registered, you got in. There's no need for you to give up your spot. It's fair and square. And I'm not, she actually said something about if there was somebody that I knew better or something like that, like a friend or something. No, I'm not going to play favoritism. That's not fair. That's just not fair.
It's like people that cut the line. Yeah. And it's, I have a friend here. And they cut the line, right?
I don't operate that way in anything in my life, so I won't do that. In fact, two of the ladies at the store, when they said, they were looking forward to it, they were just going to register for it. And I says, too late. I have a waiting list and everything. And I saw a look on their face like, and then
Mary said, yeah, that's me.
Yeah, Mary. Okay. Well, Mary, I appreciate that. I really do. That was very, very kind of you. But Mary, you're in. So don't be giving up your spot. But it was nice of you. But the two ladies at the store, I said, well, there's a waiting list. And they kind of like, well, you know us. And I said, I would dearly love to be able to make a spot for the two of you, but I can't. I can put you on the waiting list. Well, then it turned out both of them have to work that Saturday anyway, so it doesn't matter. But, I feel bad that I can't get everybody in that wants to go in. But I just don't know how it's going to work. Now, down the road, if this is successful, and we'll learn some things from this, then yes, I would probably plan another one. Whether there's COVID or no COVID, it doesn't matter. However, here is the problem. If I do another one, I would have to do it one of two ways. One, yeah, it would be absolutely free, just like this one. But I can't go to sponsors and ask for gift certificates again.
But when you have a bill work something out. I mean,
well, yeah, okay. Why don't you just jump all over what I'm going to say, shall we? Anyway. Leave it alone for a minute. I wouldn't feel comfortable going back to them and asking again, because our sponsors right now are being very generous for this. Also, so the other way to do it is I could charge a fee, and I would use that money in the fee. It'd be like maybe $5 a person. I'd use that to buy gift certificates or things like that. But here's the problem with that. I'm not a company. I'm not a business. Transferring funds, doing all of that. I mean, you could do e-transfer to the bank account. You can pay me through PayPal, kind of a deal, but PayPal takes a bit of that money as well. In order to really set it up like a real business kind of a thing, costs a lot of money to do that. Like if people want to pay by credit card, for example. So that's not in the works at this point in time.
Well, let's worry about that when that time comes.
Also, I'm not doing this as a business at all. I'm not doing this for money, or even down the road. I'm not doing this for money. For fun. It's for fun. That's all it is. So we'll see how this one goes, and we'll go. If this is really successful in the whole bit, then we'll look at possibility of how we can do it. I mean, there's always the possibility that, hey, technologically, 90, piece of cake. Let's go for 180 next time. I don't know. We'll see. So it's still, an experiment. Hi, Laura. Hi, Alan. Yeah, and as I said, Alan, if anything comes opened up, and I hope people will be, honest and responsible. If something changes in their life and they know before the 15th of March that they're not going to be there, that they send me an email. And because I much appreciate that. So anyways, there will be more updates about what are going on. I'm constantly working on this. So I want it to be a good experience for everybody. Okay, that's the goal. Where are you going?
I'm going to get another beer.
Oh, okay, fine. Get me one too, please. So this brings me, though, to something else. My guild. You've heard me talk about this before. I am about to resign as secretary. And I am resigning from the guild because I have been accused of that which I just told you I will not do. That I am profiting from this. That I'm only doing this in order to line the coffers of my sponsors and to get money for my YouTube channel. That's what I was told by the president. I'm pissed, really pissed about that. That has never been my intention. I got the sponsors, not because, and they're not sponsoring. Yeah, they may get a little business out of this, because I will say who the sponsors are. And that's okay. They're donating gift certificates to their website. So fine, they're going to get some business. That's fine. But that's all. And the only reason I reached out to those three people, and it's Ultimate Sewing, it's Class Act in Oshawa, which is a crafting store, and out west to Calgary to Kim Jameson Hurst, who does the Quilter's Way. And you've heard me talk about the Quilter's Way many, many times about it, because all three of those people who own those businesses are friends. And that's why I reached out to them. They're also people who run things that I believe in. And I know that they are not trying to take anybody for a ride. But I couldn't believe that the president of our guild said this. So I'm resigning. They've already played nasty pool with me. I look after the email. I redirect emails. I've told you about that when they come in to where they should go and the whole bit. They changed the password. I can't get into it anymore. Well, I don't care. It's one less thing I need to do. They've been making certain demands on me that I'm not answering to because they don't talk nice. They're bullies. Well, the one who's the president is a bully, an absolute bully. She's arrogant. She's lazy. She doesn't do anything. She rides on the hard work of other people in the guild. I'm not putting up with that. I guess she's used to being able to order people around. She hasn't met me. And that's what I'll say about that. I'm hoping that the 26, 27 people in the guild who know nothing about any of this aren't persuaded by her. It would be dirty pool for her to send out a message to them and try and coerce them into not coming to the retreat. Well, at least my waiting list could fill up real quick. And I don't think the people in the guild will do that because, you know, the majority of the ladies, and you've heard me say this before, in the guild are really nice people. I have no issues with them. I have an issue with this one person. So I'm resigning from it. I haven't resigned my membership. That may or may not come. I don't know if I'll renew it next year. But this, I'm in shock. I'm in absolute shock that this person would say these things. Plus, on top of it, she had one of the sponsors, she has I don't know, what's the word for it? She has a grudge against for some reason. And that, more than anything, is what's got her goat. So be it. Simple as that. Oops, I said simple as that. I'm sure Walter will jump right on that in a minute. So anyways, this will not affect the retreat at all. But I thought I'd share that with you because I'm ticked. And who else can I talk to about it than you guys, right? Hi, Mr. Leon.
Hi, Mr. Leon.
I'm just backing up here to see. Let's see. Anita says, geez, you don't need that guild. Well, you know, exactly. And Nancy says, it makes no difference if profit's made. You will, and you have and will earn it. Yeah. And there is no profit.
No, we're not making any.
We're not making any profit off this. In fact, if anything, if the truth be told, in a way, it's costing us some money. I pay for a subscription to Zoom every month. It's $20 with tax. Well, $22.60. Big deal.
And maybe our time, but I mean,
time is a hobby. This is fun. This has nothing to no. And I'm fine with that.
I think if you start making it a business,
then it's not fun anymore.
It's not fun anymore.
No. And like I said, the whole thing is to have fun. Oh yeah, Teresa, she does need a pill or two. Yeah. Anita says, to be honest, what business is it of hers? She should not make such judgment of personal calls. No, it is none of her business. She tries to couch it in that I use the email system of the guild to send out a personal message. However, everybody in the guild has everybody else's email and are encouraged to stay in contact with people that way. The mistake I made was I just didn't even think about it. I just sent it out to the guild. To be honest, what I did was, and this is where I made a mistake. You know, you should always just do something and apologize for it afterwards. There's a saying or something about that. I sent to the executive a note when I was planning this saying, would it be all right if I submitted my little advertisement for our newsletter? The answer came back from the president, who technically the president isn't the one that gives the sole decision. It's the executive, which is made up of the voting members on the executive. You know, president, past president, vice president, treasurer, secretary, which I am. Those are the voting members. It's not up to the president to make these decisions. And it wasn't presented to the president to make this decision. It was presented to those individuals. I sent them each the same email. I carbon copied it to them. And that was the only one I heard from. And she says, sure, that was fine. Well, at the time, then I realized that our newsletter goes out about 5 days before this happens. And I'm thinking, ooh, that doesn't give the guild members, because they're the only people that see the newsletter, doesn't give them much time. And who knows, it may be filled up by then. And so
yeah, this was also at the time you were thinking to yourself, oh wow, you'll get like 10 people signed up for this thing.
Yeah, I really didn't figure that the guild would really like go gung-ho over it like that. And so it was a snap decision. In hindsight, I shouldn't have made a snap decision, but I just sent it out. I mean, what's the big deal from that? Well, apparently the big deal was that we have a few members that have private email addresses. Well, yeah, but I sent it out as a blind carbon copy. I didn't even think about those ones. I don't even know why they don't want their email address published, but I have it. I have it as a member of the executive. All the executive members have all the members' email addresses. The list that they send out to the general membership does not have the ones that have said they don't want their email address published. Okay. She said, well, it would have been okay if I had just sent it from my personal email, not using, because it isn't sanctioned or authorized by the guild. Well, I didn't ask for it to be sanctioned or authorized by the guild. I was just including the guild along with everybody else that I was including. Also, she preaches at every one of our meetings. At the beginning, she preaches about being supportive during COVID, helping people out, making opportunities for people, to be social virtually and all this kind of stuff. Is that not what this is doing? But the problem is I could argue all these points with her, but they would all be moot to her. She has her mind made up. She has a hate on for me for some reason. She has a hate on for one of the sponsors. And she's just being a horrible person. So no, I'm not going to deal with that kind of person. It has given me some stress. And I think, wait. Belonging to a guild is supposed to be fun. It's not supposed to give you stress. It's supposed to give you an outlet for socialization. And no, I don't need this. So bye-bye guild, or bye-bye executive on the guild at the moment. So anyways, I just thought I would tell you that because I wanted to get it off my chest, because I have no idea how many of the guild members might actually watch this channel. I'm debating whether to send out a note to the entire guild just to let them know, like, that I'm no longer on the executive. It's not like they're all going to rally around and go, yay, and, have a sit-in or something like this. No, I'm not expecting that. I'm not going to get that. I'm not expecting it. In fact, I have a feeling a lot of them in the guild will be happy to see me go because I'm the only man. And they're not really comfortable with a man in their ranks. So, anyways, just thought I'd tell you all about that. What's being said here? Yeah, Teresa, there are people in every guild like that. At least that is in every guild, in every organization. There always is. But, I watch some of these people jump when she snaps her fingers. And yet, when they come back down from the jump, they're saying things behind your back. I don't deal like that. That's not how I play. If I have an issue with somebody, I let them know I have an issue with them, and hopefully we can talk it out and come to a common ground. But this person is not that kind of person you can do that with. Anita says, I watch a lot of YouTube channels and you don't even ask people to subscribe to your channel. No, I don't. I don't ask anybody to do anything. This is a hobby. I will not beg for subscribers, because what's the point? What's the point? I'm not making my living off of doing YouTube. Okay? I have a comfortable income from my pension and everything like that. And the way we've watched our money over the years and stuff like that. This is a hobby. This is all this is. Oh, hi, RJ. Uh, oh, thank you. I'm glad you're liking it. Roy says it's the same kind of politics that infests some parent teacher so student association. People get elected to the president and become very different personalities. Well, it's a bit of a power tripping thing in
But
their
actually,
mind.
in their mind, but actually, it's. I mean, they get that president word and they think they can do anything.
Yeah. And let's face it, let's call it what it is. It's a guild. It's a bunch of people who like to sew, getting together every so often to hear a speaker, to share fabric scraps, to
And maybe you shouldn't call
socialize.
it president. Maybe you should be top organizer or something.
Yeah, or leader. Well, she's not a good one. But, it's not going to affect. It doesn't, like I say, guilds don't solve world hunger or cure cancer or COVID. Okay? Put it in the perspective it should be put into. It's a social club. So go be social, enjoy, have a good time, kind
Actually,
of thing.
Andy sort of says maybe she's mad because she didn't think of it.
Well, Walter said
actually,
that.
I've said that because they've had sew days in the past year, but they haven't really had like a virtual retreat or anything like that. So you're maybe undercutting them because they haven't done this thing.
Well, maybe, but the sew days, she doesn't even do anything with those. That we have a convener actually for the sew days who's been working very hard actually at organizing
not just her, but your guild. I'm saying that your guild hasn't really done anything like this.
No.
So I mean, they may be jealous that's
maybe. I just think she's a bully, and and she just wants to try to exercise what she thinks is her power, and she doesn't like it when.
Yeah, welcome,
I don't
RJ.
know.
All right, welcome. It's always nice to have new people.
Yes, it's always nice to have new people. And he says maybe she's mad. Yeah, because she didn't think of the idea. Yeah, everybody say hi to RJ. So, anyways, where are you from, RJ? Just out of curiosity, we'd like to know. So, anyways, that's what's been on my chest. If you watched the Idiot Quilter this week in my vlog, you'll probably hear it again. A little different perspective, but you'll probably hear it again. Yeah. So that's taken us. Move off that topic and let's look at. So what have we been watching? Okay, so we've been watching this series. Did we finish it? Behind Her Eyes? No,
we haven't finished it.
No, because they're doing one thing a week, aren't they?
Yeah. No, I think they've got all of them out.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
Oh, what's it about?
Psychological thriller. Remember, there's the guy.
Oh, yeah,
a psychiatrist.
Yeah,
it's a British thing.
Yeah, it's actually pretty good. It's very intriguing.
Creepy.
It's kind of creepy. Yeah, it's called Behind Her Eyes. What's that on Netflix?
I believe that's Netflix.
Yeah, and then we just started watching last night because I was watching the Quilt Roadies, which is a YouTube channel that I subscribe to, and she was talking about this show that she and her husband are watching on the science fiction net station, which we don't get, called Resident Alien. And so I downloaded it. Well, the 4 episodes you can get right now. I got the hiccups. And it's actually hilarious. It's basically about an alien who crash lands on Earth, but he has a mission. His mission is to obliterate the human race. But it's funny. You have to see it.
It doesn't sound funny,
but it is funny. The guy who plays the alien is hilarious. His gestures, his facial expressions, and things like that it's good. It's worth the watch. We watched a strange movie. It had come out about a year ago, didn't it? At the theaters.
Yeah.
It's got Russell Crowe in it. It's called Unhinged. And basically, if you watch this movie, you will never ever incite road rage at anybody again. You'll be very loath to beep your horn at somebody on the road when they're not doing something that they should be doing. It is quite the movie. And that was that Netflix?
It was somewhat disturbing.
Yeah, it's kind of disturbing, like I said. Yes.
RJ says she's from California.
Oh, California. Okay.
Renee's from California. I'm sure it's warmer than here. Oh, well, we think. I mean, after what Texas went through last week.
Cindy's got to leave, I think. Oh, she's got to go. She got pot roast done and gravy to be made. Okay, well,
enjoy.
Yep. Andy says guild president sounds like Attila, no fun. Yeah, well, she thinks she's fun. I'm just looking at what people are saying here. Yeah, RJ, I love quilt roadies too. I love put it on when I'm in my sewing room sewing too, because it's that kind of thing, listen to it while you're sewing. I'm reading a new book. It's by our Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau. It's called Common Ground. It's autobiographical. And actually, I've only read the first couple of chapters, and he's talking about his childhood. But I didn't really realize it, but it makes sense. His father, of course, was Pierre Elliott Trudeau, and who was prime minister for many, many years in the 70s and late 60s and into the 70s. And basically, Justin was raised in 24 Sussex Drive. 24 Sussex Drive is the home of the prime minister. And then when he was prime minister for quite a while, and then when he finally lost an election, he was the official opposition. So they moved across the street to the official home of the opposition. So as a child, he grew up around politics and politicians and all kinds of things. So it's really kind of interesting what he's talking about. And yeah, I'm enjoying the reading of it. I think it's something that Canadians, of course, would enjoy it more than Americans, but it's a good read so far. What's Teresa say? Reference to road rage. I was in the middle of an accident this week. Carnage all around me. 4 cars, but I and my car escaped unscathed. Whoa, geez.
Well, congratulations. And I know what you feel like, because I had I used to drive into Toronto a lot when I was working, and there were a couple of incidents in my life where I had cars spinning around me, and I was waiting to be hit, and luckily I never got hit. But it was it's pretty scary when that sort of thing happens.
So was it related to the weather, Teresa? Like ice, snow, anything like that? But glad that you got out of it without any harm. Yeah, so that's good. Not good.
And I'm glad you got out of it okay. It's not I mean, if you have an accident and are able to get out of it without a scratch, good. I mean, your car is damaged and it feels like crap and you feel like crap, but it's that's a good thing. But I mean, being injured is not good. So
no. So I mean, if the least the problems is you always fix your car, but can't fix your life, kind of a thing. So what's been cooking this week? Well, I decided, last Sunday, of course, was Valentine's Day, right? And we talked a little bit about that last week. So I decided to make chicken piccata for a dinner. Yes, I can cook too. I just don't do it much because somebody, I'm really not complaining about this, but somebody is very picky about what I make. So I said, well, I can make chicken piccata. Actually, it's a veal piccata recipe, but trying to get veal these days, it's not like the good old days when, we got the little baby cows that were forced fed and kept in the dark. They were so tender. Now those free range ones, it's just not the same. I joke, sort of. So anyways, I made chicken piccata, and we had a very nice dinner, I thought. So it's kind of impromptu because I didn't really plan to do anything special for Valentine's Day, but we did that. So, well, I can make that again tonight. I don't think so. So, yeah, that's been about the week. Oh, Anita loves chicken piccata. Okay. Well, come on over. I'll make you something there, Anita. Sometimes. So what can I tell you? Well, there's nothing much more to discuss. I'll keep everybody informed about the retreat as we get closer to the date and all the other little dramas in my life.
Yeah, I'll have to dig up that stuff about the masks. and see if we can post something on the.
Yeah, we can drop it in. I'll either drop it into the show notes with this one goes up, or I'll put it in the show notes for my vlog or the Idiot Quilter.
They are both all over the internet, and they're called 3D masks.
3D masks.
Yeah.
Ooh. I call them decky masks. Whatever. Okay, so I think we're going to head off. So tomorrow my vlog will come out, and I was really surprised this week. I had over 539 views on my vlog. I'm ecstatic when it gets close to 200. I don't know why it went to 500. I'm not complaining, but that was interesting. So that'll come out tomorrow. I'm going to do an Idiot Quilter on Tuesday. I'm going to show you my ultimate sewing stash and some other things as usual with that. So I hope everybody has a good week. Thanks for joining us today. Thanks to our new subscriber or subscribers. Heaven only knows. And I hope you are all safe and happy in the next week. So see you later. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.